Greetings everyone, I have returned, and today we continue Zezona.
Hey, I want to fight. Get done with it.
Ignore that. Anyway, this will be the third episode of the series, and well, let's get into it. So, in the last episode, you were stopped leaving the route by your rival. Well, not your rival yet, but come on, we all know.
Alright, let's fight.
Their first mon they send out is the starter strong against the one you picked. They were the second to arrive and were able to see that you picked the one you did, so they counterpicked you and decided to take the one strong against you. After you defeat the starter, you move on to the next mon. Now, just like you, your rival has had time to run around the route and capture some mons, with them then sending out what looks like a plush rabbit. So for the first new design we're seeing today, it's Bun Plush. Another rare encounter for the route that is inspired by something very common in Zenless, Bangboo. Bangboo are these little rabbit-esque looking robots. They can have various purposes, jobs, but this one specifically is modeled off of the protagonist's Bangboo, or at least one of the three, Eos. It's a fairly defensive normal type. However, you do find that if you hit it on the special side, it's not exactly super difficult to take down. And also, a rabbit plush is fairly fitting, especially for an early route, because most early routes in Pokemon have at least a different kind of mammal available early game that kind of serves as an introduction. This is your Galarian Zigzagoon, your Poochyena, your Shinx, an early route mammal to kind of help you better understand Pokemon. It's not the main one, but it is there. As for the sort of stitched bottom and the no mouth, don't worry, that'll definitely be solved later. Yes, evolution, wink wink. Bun Plush. The plush Pokemon, a pure normal type. Bun Plush are incredibly friendly, though more often than not, they seem to be looking for something more than they're looking for attention. Up against your rival's Bun Plush, you realize it's a fairly defensive normal type, though hitting it specially does help. Having defeated Bun Plush, your rival then sends out their next Pokemon. This is Magigunk, the first regional fake of Zezona, and a fairly obvious Magikarp fake. Not only is this one inspired by the blobfish and how bringing them up to the surface makes them take their blobby shape because, you know, their body's not meant for it, but also it's based on the idea of radioactive fish, because that is a trope in multiple different medias. Most famously, you have the Simpsons' Three-Eye Fish, but then when Jeremy Wade from River Monsters went fishing at Chernobyl, there was a gigantic Wells catfish there in the waters. So I wanted to at least do that. But as for how this ties back into Zenless, a decent amount of the game is people being mutated or changed by Ether/Miasma. So mutations are a fairly common thing for the game, and the radioactive fish trope fits that pretty well. Also, you might notice it's obviously based off Magikarp, which is a fishing encounter. Yes, this implies your rival jumped into the water in order to catch this mon. Anyway, Magigunk, the sludge fish Pokemon, a pure poison type. No one has quite figured out why they decided to mimic Magikarp, but the prevailing theory is that they realized people commonly fish them up. Now that your rival is down to their last mon, yes, they had a team of 4, don't worry, you should at least have 4 at this point too, and plus, most of their mons are like level 3, so it's not really that bad. That being said, out comes their final mon, Tygamp. Now look, the character your rival is based on is Jufufu from Zenless Zone Zero. I decided on her because, well, she's energetic, excitable, and I feel like she would really enjoy being a Pokemon trainer. She also gives off a young enough vibe that she could probably be one. Now as for Tygamp actually yes, it does pull from that one beta design that's out there. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's the little electric tiger. It's a beta design Pokemon did, but just never used. So I don't see any issue with me repurposing it. But also, tigers do technically have a bit of electricity in their lore, with things like Oni or Raijin occasionally being tied in with tigers or tiger skin, as well as electricity. But also, Jufufu has a little mechanical tiger thing as her weapon. Yeah, it's basically just that. There were a lot of different things that just kind of folded pretty nicely into this design, and it is by far your rival's strongest Mon, being a level above their starter at level 6, implying that they had it before they got their starter. Tygamp, the Bolt Stripe Pokemon, a pure electric type. Tygamp are known for chewing on electrical cords, as it helps them charge their energy. This does make them quite the household pest, but if you can train them to plug their tail into the socket instead, this problem can be alleviated. And while the battle was certainly tough, leaving most of your team fainted, you did manage to pull out the win. Your rival recalling her fainted Pokemon before laughing a bit.
That was fun. Let's do this again.
Before then, running right past you into the city. Though, before you can actually head into the city, your battle with 4 different Pokemon has caused a member of your team to evolve. Now, much like most early route bug types, Statiller will be evolving quite early, and this battle with your rival gave it enough juice. Pun intended, because Statiller becomes Battylus, a battery chrysalis, that also just so happens to be designed to look somewhat similar to not only a battery, obviously, but to the, I guess, electro grenades that Grace throws out. It's still got some hair and they're still very spiky. So be very careful trying to move it, because chances are you probably will get shocked. But now, at the very least, you have a middle stage Pokemon on your team, Battylus, the battery Pokemon. A bug electric type. When a Statiller evolves, they will grow a hard outer shell. While some have compared this shell to metal, a lot of people will say that for the most part, they're not that hard. And with that evolution out of the way, you're free to go into the city. Not only will you eventually be able to find a Pokemon Center to heal up, but also to recharge your battery. Either way, after you're healed up, you should probably journey around the city, but that sounds like a journey for next time. And anyway, this is Jay, signing away, forever and always. Bye-bye.